What is up, ladies and gents, Ghost here, and today I am very happy to announce that the winter patch has finally made it over to Battlefield 4. This is a fantastic patch, and in this video I'm going to run through most of the important changes that have come out, and of course I will link all of the patch notes down below. So first off, the new helicopter physics have made it into this patch over from the CTE. If you haven't heard about this yet, the helicopter physics for the attack helis and the transport helis have been completely revamped, and as I'm sure you can tell from the footage here in the background, the attack helis are just a breath of fresh air. They're so fun to fly, so much more versatile and maneuverable. They're just awesome. You really have to try it out for yourselves. Secondly, a new game mode, Squad Obliteration, has been introduced, which is billed to be the new competitive game mode for Battlefield 4. So it's 5-a-side squad obliteration instead of the large-scale obliteration. You can only see who the bomb carrier is if you spot them, and there are no vehicles or parachute spawns. I haven't had a chance to try this one out yet because there aren't really any servers that have started running this new game mode as of yet, so as soon as I've done that, I'll definitely let you guys know my thoughts. And by all means, if you're watching this video at a later date and you have tried out the game mode, let me know how it plays down below. Next up, we've seen some more netcode improvements. So, as you guys probably knew already, the way the high frequency network update works is there is a certain radius around your soldier in which the tick rate will be higher for you. Well, now they've also implemented an enlarged cone for where you're ADSing. So hopefully, when you're shooting at somebody and they're firing back at you, this improved tick rate will make things seem a little bit more seamless and will hopefully incur a little bit less raging. They've also improved the prioritization and filtering, so now the netcode improvements actually prioritize health, damage, and enemy players and vehicles above everything else. On top of that, when you aim down sights with your weapon, this sort of netcode cone, to coin a phrase, will then be extended and enlarged. Alright, next, soldier traversal and collision. So what does that exactly mean? Well, basically they've made a significant number of improvements to how your soldier traverses in Battlefield. If you've played the Battlefield series, and especially Battlefield 4, for a long time, you'll know that your soldier can get caught on strange little objects on the floor, staircases, small pieces of debris that don't really seem like they could stop you from walking over them, but there's some weird clipping, you get stuck on there. They've greatly improved the way that your soldier traverses, the way you climb ladders, and lots of other things. It's very difficult to explain to you guys in words, but I recommend getting in Battlefield 4 and trying it out. You'll definitely be able to feel the difference. It's quite fresh. It feels really good. They've also fixed a lot of collision issues. So this was essentially where it looks like you can shoot past an object or between two objects, but your bullets will actually be clipping on those objects. So they fix a lot of those areas thanks to a lot of feedback over from CTE testers. Okay, so next, some of the new UI changes. You've probably seen some of these in my earlier videos from CTE changes, but these have finally now made it over to the main game, and they're all under gameplay advanced options, just like where all the minimap and other UI options are. So you can now change the colour and the size and scale and the glow of your red dot sights, or the size of any other sight for that matter. So as you can see here, I shrunk mine down quite a bit, just to make it that little bit easier to get headshots at range, but at the same time, I've increased the glow so that I'll be able to see the red dot against backdrops like snow or bright lights in the sky. You can also now fully customize the colour of headshot markers and kill markers. So the way I like to set mine up is to have regular hit markers as white, headshots are red, and blue markers are for a kill. These blue markers really help out. It gives me a much quicker visualization check of when I've killed an enemy, when I can stop firing my weapon, or even if I'm up in the attack jet and I'm attacking somebody, it's much easier to keep your eyes on the crosshair and see this little blue crosshair fly up and flash whenever you kill somebody, rather than having to glance down at the kill feed that appears slightly below the crosshair and, having to sort of take your eyes away from the main attraction. So really good change there. Another great change in the jet HUDs, you can now customize the glow, the scale, and the colour of jet and other vehicle HUDs. And I know this is something a lot of you guys who watch my jet stuff on my channel have been asking for. You've all been complaining that the speedometer is too small, especially if you're somebody who plays on console and perhaps, you know, on a small TV and you sit quite a distance away. Well, don't fear, you can now enlarge that if you want, and as you can see, my speedometer as default is actually quite a bit bigger. And lastly, they have significantly improved the audio of footsteps of enemies and friendlies. So I'm just going to shut up a minute so you can hear the difference here. So that guy who ran past me outside there, I would not normally be able to hear that guy at quite an audio level. If there was a tank shell going off, if there was a helicopter flying overhead, it would usually mute out that audio and I would have no idea that anybody is there. But apparently now, you should always be able to hear the footsteps of enemies and friendlies, and I think enemies a little bit louder than the friendlies as well, just to differentiate between the two whenever there are helicopters flying overhead, whenever there are tanks rumbling past, just to assist you in pinpointing where your enemies are through sound that little bit more. So really awesome changes here. You know, I'm always somebody who turns up my headphones to almost the highest setting just really so I can hear infantry players that are around me. I'm not too interested in hearing much else, you know. Tanks are easy enough to hear, helicopters and planes are easy enough to hear, but usually you'll have to really crank up your volume in order to get to hear those infantry soldiers. So the fact that they've now differentiated the sounds and made their footsteps louder really helps a lot. Alright guys, so that is about it for the winter patch. As I said in the start of the video, I will link all of the patch notes down below so you guys can go and check those out for yourselves and have a bit of a gander. But as always guys, thank you very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this patch down below. Personally, I'm loving this patch. The helicopter physics changes is half of what I love about this patch so far. It's really making me want to go in the helicopters. Attack helicopters are like an absolute joy to fly now. I really recommend checking those out. Hell, if I really get into them, maybe I'll, you know, try and get better and make some tutorials or something on them, because I am having a lot of fun as of yet. And also the collision fixes and the traversing, the soldier traversal changes are absolutely fantastic. As it says here in the patch notes, it really has to be played to feel the immense difference this makes, and I couldn't agree more. Go and try it out guys, go and try the patch, download it, and let me know what you think in the comments down below. Alright guys, once again thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers.